we are first spiritual beings, not to live from a physical standpoint, but understanding that
this is not me.
awareness have a lot to do with everything around you.
Okay, welcome back to Powerful Choices. And now we've been on a training camp. I won't say break. We've been on a training camp, so today met Roneal kind of take the lead today. Because the Lord give him the lead scripture today. So we go just go into that and expand on it and then see where the Spirit lead us. Not so much of captivity to a pen or paper or a tablet. Just see where we go through Spirit. So yes, Ronnie, what you have for us today?
Why first and foremost, I like a little tree there, so. I don't know where really I go out with what me I say, yeah, you look unique still.
Yeah.
Definitely unique. You know.
Yeah.
You know the art behind it, but I
Yeah.
could tell it's some creative.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
you're
what
an
I
artist,
put
so. But yes, it's good to be back. You know what I mean? It's been a while. Lord has brought us through so many things. All the glory and the power belong to him, you know?
True.
In this time of obscurity, it has been so much, so much. It's a blessing, man, to be honest. And he asks us this morning to start with Psalms 24, first verse. The earth
Okay.
is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein.
Yeah.
And he say, we flow on authority,
True.
authority, authority. That's the topic he can give us the flow on today. And what does
Authority.
that? Yeah, what does that? What have we learned since on the journey so far about authority and yeah. So, what does that mean to you, my friend?
You know, it means a lot. It means a lot, it's been quite a journey, quite a mixed feeling journey in terms of like departing away from a lot of things, even things that I love and appreciate and people that I love and appreciate, to go on a journey to be more in attached to self because we're made in the image of God. I realize that I have to first study the image before I can get to the actual, actual painting, which is God. And the clue from there, so now let me realize that, this journey, which is life, everybody, would be more efficient in whatever they do if they have more self-control and just the journey itself to try to maintain, accumulate, and then to all of the like the sustainability of self-control. I realize that it is not easy. It is not easy, and getting no more to the spirit, really realizing that self-control itself is by first knowing oneself. So to get authority over something, you have to first know what you're commanding, you know, and we are not really taught this, like the difference and the aspect of soul and the yeah, as I did a video the other morning about the concept of experience with the trio, the experiences, activities, people, friends, family, food, everything. the experience which we experience through the flesh in the physical world, and then the one who witness the experiences of all, which is spirit. The authority was given to us, by God through free will to choose. So the earth is the Lord and all therein. Yeah, and so I realized that God did not place us here to be to be avoidant to its creations and be like obscure to all that he has created, but is a call to find a balance between all of it, to not overindulge in neither the good nor the bad of anything, because everything has a good or a bad. Overindulgence in anyone will lead to side effects not wanted. So I guess authority for me is nutshell classified as choice.
Choice.
Yes.
Wow. Me love when I especially step on self-control, because that's one of the things where we've been working on in the season, and how especially as man, that's something we need to be more skeptic in. You get me? I say one of the things when teach me when it comes on to authority is sovereignty,
Yeah.
because I kind of learn how the kingdom work. You get me? I say, and in a Revelation, I think John wrote about it, where he speaks about the 24 elders surrounding the throne and how they all toss their crowns before him and kneel. He shows you the authority and who's in charge. So the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. The revelation I get from it, especially in this time of my life, is no matter what is going on around you, always remember who is in charge. Do not make the happenings make you misunderstand who's in charge. Don't make the things of the world, the happenings and the outcomes of things. Not because you may not understand it, don't think he loses his place on the throne and the 24 elders stop worshiping. Everything works for his good and his benefit. So is that concept I have to use to always bring back to my peaceful mind.
Yeah.
And be okay with the outcomes of any and every happenings, whether they work with my flesh or against my flesh, knowing they're working for me and understanding that he's in charge and everything is serving his purpose. You may not understand it, you may not agree with it, but it does serve his purpose. And it gives you such level of tranquility, because one of the things that we actually learn in this journey so far is selflessness. We talk about this a lot, and how we learn how not to live from a physical standpoint, but understanding that we are first spiritual beings. You understand me? I say, and then we love and understand everything else around us from that level, from the spiritual level. Then we are manifest in the flesh. Spirits manifest in the flesh in terms of this is the finished product, but you can't see who's really in control.
True.
You understand me? I say, and the teachings of that has been so awakening to both me and you, because we talk about this a lot, and the way how we perceive things around us. It's okay. We don't have to, that's the mentality nowadays. It's not that we don't want things or we don't have the desires, but we understand beyond those things what really is and what is really in control and taking place. And it's been such peaceful. Serenity is the word, my friend. Serenity is the
True.
word. You know what I mean? That's the place where I try to dwell in at most. That's why I try not to have outside sources of to my ears and my eyes, what I don't need to be putting into my cranium, because I understand what that does to you, and it causes chaos against yourself. You want yourself and your spirit and your soul. You don't want it. So Isaiah says his mind, anybody who keeps his mind on him will be at perfect peace. Stay.
True.
That's why I try to stay. Not always what going on, but what did he says about what when things like this are going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is so powerful, aspect of you mentioning also, like, who is in control. And it kind of bring back to memory, because, like, understanding that he is, in everything, no matter what you see going on,
Mm-hmm.
he's teaching and doing something, no matter how it looks to you. Lean not on your own understanding, you know and it reminds me of animation. 'Cause I know anime people, a lot of people watch animes like I do. It reminds me of a particular character in a anime called Naruto. Now there is this particular mood that he used. He call it sage mood. Where him sit still, be still, know that I am God, and
Mm-hmm.
he gathers all of these natural energy, and it give him a heightened ability in a many ways and additional abilities. But he found a problem within this mood where he was like, when he found out the weakness, he was like, this is useless, because the weakness of it, you only can gather the energy while you're still, and it lasts about 15 minutes. So, but he had a ace that he had no idea about. He had a spirit. So the anime fans would know him as the fox. So he had a
Mm.
spirit inside of him. So after developing a relationship with the spirit, because they were not always friends,
Right.
they was always wrestling against each other. The spirit wrestling against the flesh. It was always like that. But whenever the spirit takes over, he's always more powerful. They built a relationship like this, where while he was moving, the spirit inside of him would gather the natural energy and then pass it through to him. That way him could maintain this mood indefinitely, and that made him one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful ninja in the entire series. you know so going back to say, like, what you were mentioning about the spirit, the spirit, when you understand that the spirit is in control, and the main source, the flesh in itself has its function and can function, because was created by God beautifully, how the body works, and how it how
Mm.
it's a how it is the greatest chemical factory in the world, hands down. All the chemicals in the world, all the pills, all the was created to mimic what this body is already producing. So it is amazing how the body breaks down chemicals. As I was mentioning the other day, you eat something, the body breaks it apart down to a cellular level and
Mm-hmm.
sends what? Oh, brain, hold that. Lungs, you hold that. Boy, kidney, this not too good for you, no, but you alone can do this. Open nose if you not take no medicine, and then send it. You
Mm.
understand? But
Yeah.
eventually, that's how it works. And we don't, without that single thought, this process is taking place inside of us. Even as we speak, our body is doing this. So, the body has its phenomenal function, but the body is for time. And no matter how beautiful a thing is, it seems ridiculous to dedicate one's life to something which is temporary. So pushes me now to, like, say, okay, as I said with the elders, it bugs me when I read that scripture, and I was like, God, how is this possible? The elders, the 24 elders, they have duties. how can they always be on their knees before you throwing out their crowns?
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, in the spirit, it is unspeakable. All things is eternal in the spirit. They can both do that task, because it's eternal. You know? So
Mm.
it's a deep when you go spirit, unfortunately, the flesh is incapable of comprehending what the spirit really does and how it really do operate. So if we're on a search for like self-control, a deeper treasure in life, what better place to dig than in the spirit? So that's been the journey for me personally, like trying to just not neglecting flesh, embracing flesh for what it is, but like a vehicle. So, this vehicle have this attitude, this when it hit gravel, it behave like this. Gain more awareness of the vehicle which is driving, but always remember that the driver is the spirit. So it's been like that for me, and it's been a great help, to like embark on this journey, especially with amazing, powerful people that I've met along my journey. Persons like Roneal Roxborough, you know, currently speaking to. And don't feel away if me talk in a third party, because I also talk about myself in this aspect many times, because I've come to the awareness that this is not me. I am. And it
Mm.
stops right there. Everything after that, Diceson is an experience. At some point in time, God sent me on another mission, and I was not Diceson, but I was what I was. Even though I don't have I have a feeling, not a memory, a feeling, and I know from the I amness that I was before this, and I will be after this. So it just brings me to like, observe more.
Mm. Thank you so much, man. And as the journey wouldn't be no different without you, my friend. Is much appreciated. Everything where we've been through, the ups and the downs and the indifference, because they all come to teach. They all come to teach us, and most of all humble us. Because we were so young and arrogant, and now we have matured to this season where we are at now, heading to the other seasons of our life where we keep on growing. I think I told you the other day that every time I open one door, I see 1,000 more, and I open one of the doors, I see 10,000 more, and it teaches me that this journey is like that. When it comes down to humility and the wisdom that God gives, you see it. So it's like much appreciated to you, the same man, and I'm so grateful to have a friend like you, Yazid, because the honesty, when I tell each other what we want to hear, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty. You see me? Never be like that. We always think of ourselves as the other one. So if this is no good for me, it would be no good for you either. You get me? I say, especially who have the clearest mind at the moment in the situation to give the best advice. But as I mentioned before, that's one of the things that I have learned is, and actually the pure awareness of who we really are. This is a vessel. What you cannot see with these is the most important part of it on this journey. You get what I'm saying? And it dictates what this does.
True.
You don't believe me? All right, now go move my hand. I say, stop hand. Stop hand. You see my hand still move? The body doesn't take the command from the body. Don't ask me why. I don't design it. But you have something else to say, stop, hand. See what happened?
Yeah.
You come in sync with something else. That's
What
a
you think
thing.
that is, though?
Huh?
What you think that is?
That is what?
Like what it comes in sync with, to like, to say, when you say stop, the
Mm-hmm.
continuation, and while you're
Mm-hmm.
doing that, it kind of bring me back to thoughts. How you
Mm-hmm.
can like say, oh, I want to stop thinking about this, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And then at some point in time, you come to a place where it's like silence. For what you think,
I think
from
first
the
of all, it
stand.
come to awareness. Awareness have a lot to do with everything around you. Because if you don't aware that your thoughts are not yours, then you're gonna always think
Mm,
they are, and then they're gonna haunt you, and then you'll be like, why am I thinking all these negative thoughts? And you don't know that they are a plant there. But if you're aware
mm,
that these thoughts are not yours from the first fall of sin, then you realize that the enemy has access to your mind, not because of you, but because you were born into sin. So he has access to your mind as well. So
mm,
when the thoughts come now, you realize that if you're aware, that's not the thought that I should have. That's not a godly thought. You get what I'm saying? That's not a righteous thought. Now you're aware, then what we have learned to do is appear in our mind. Because everything in life is like this. It comes and it goes.
yeah.
When you do that this and clutch onto it, that's the dangerous part. You have to let it be. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. Let it go. Let it go. It comes and it goes. Because one thing with ego, you work off a high energy. That hits frequent. He doesn't know how to handle peace because he haven't. I don't know if he haven't experienced it, but just realize when you're somebody having a conversation and they start to become, even if you as yourself and that high energy of egoistic and you go silence, that person doesn't know how to handle that because the spirit is what is driving them, doesn't know how to handle that, especially if you're really in a place of serene. You're like, okay. So both the body has to come in alignment with the spirit through the soul
Mm,
for the connection to receive to this physical.
mm,
Because what I've learned is that the body, the spirit give commands to the soul and it gives it to the body. That's how the synchronity work. That's what I've learned. I don't know how it is, but
yeah.
that's what I've learned. So in order for a message to receive the body, it has to come through the soul. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Into the physical. It's the body. And it works both ways. With whatever
Mm,
spirit is controlling you, that's how it works. That's how it works. You get what I'm saying? So when you understand that, be aware of what's really taking place around you and inside of you, more of all, self, then you realize the nature of who you really are. And then when you live from that aspect now, it's easier for you to have a better perception of the world. Because one of our teachers, Moses, always say, there's one world, there's one earth, but there's 1,000 billion world. Because your
yeah.
perception create a world, my perception create a world. So then when you understand who you are as a being itself, then you understand, and then the perception of the world you're trying to live in shows up.
True. I mean, like, that is so powerful. And one of my, mentors said, I taught me, let them wait, you know. So, and, and the reason why I'm saying that, because, like, as we were talking, like, the Lord have shared so much things with me,
Mm-hmm.
in the aspect of what, like, this, for example, let's start at ego. you know Ego itself, like, the earth is the Lord's and all therein. Ego, it is always on a vibration, because it was designed by God to interact with vibrations. So that is the ego original design. The spirit, however, is stillness. So from the place of stillness, all vibration is accounted for. And that is
Mm.
how the spirit knows everything, because all things is vibration. In this world right now, we are being taught, you know, um, and I won't say wrongly or rightly, because there is there is no, when you understand who God is, there is no wrong or right. It is all based on the spirit and what the spirit leads you to in the moment. Like, for example, greed is replaced with the word ambition.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody say, I am ambitious, I
So,
want to acquire more land and more wealth, and them say, and they stand behind the 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 the, the persona of ambition. People say, yeah, that's beautiful. But if they stand behind the persona of greed, then it doesn't look well. But ambition and greed is the same thing. The importance is that all these things, greed, lust, love, envy, all of these things was created by God to serve a purpose. However, the flesh, the ego, in its own understanding, try to manipulate and control these things without the spirit, and leading to overindulgence in either one
mm-hmm.
becomes a problem. If you're loving in a moment when you're supposed to be hating something, you will have a problem. And if you're hating in a moment when you're supposed to be loving something, you will have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it that way, love and hate cannot be the problem. What the problem is, the wisdom of the choice that one is making within that moment. That is the problem. So when we are taught and fed that, be good or be evil, or God is good or God is evil, then people have this perception of God, while it is not so. And if you track back Genesis 3, the very Bible that people would quote and try to even break down an argument, Genesis 3 verse 22 says it specifically, no man have become like us to know good and to know evil. You cannot be something that you came to know. So if I come to know something, that means it becomes like a tool in my tool pan. I
Mm.
should be more trying to understand how to use these tools to the benefit of selflessness, to benefit the people around me. And then in return, naturally, I will benefit also, because our healthy environment leads to a healthy lifestyle, a healthy living, healthy people. So it's just that journey of understanding that we are not all of these things that we have taken this personal and persona approach towards, that we are independent of these. However, don't try to get rid of them. They are not enemies. Don't try to create a war with them. Don't try to kill them. You cannot kill them. You cannot kill hate as much as you cannot kill love. What you can do is understand each one and learn how to embody each one when they are needed.
Mm. It's just like you're trying to take, what I put here now, chop, log tool, figure pull a car wheel. That wouldn't work because it's two different sides.
Yes.
You get me? I say so. Everything has its purpose, as you say, is the manual how to properly
Yeah.
use and utilize them. Because you can misuse and abuse things and think you're doing the right thing with it. So it's like get the guidance from the manual how to use the tool, because all of this was created by God. You get me? I say, and He give us this to have a dominion. But what I'm seeing is this having dominion over
Over.
this. The minute this start to control this, that's an issue. I am supposed to control this. That's the right order. So when your bills have control over you, check your order. That doesn't sound like you have authority over it. We were given authority to reign upon this earth, to use them when they come in the season they're supposed to come. Let them go when they leave. Mourn them. You get me? I say, let them pass. But when we try to cling on to things forever and we live in time, that's a problem. Only thing forever is the spirit. That's why you age. That's why days and months go by. You get what I'm saying? Everything go in seasons and times. None of this is eternal. No care how strong you build it, one day it will crumble.
True.
When you understand that, it makes you live life from a serene place and tranquility. You just appreciate each moment as they come. And let me tell you something. Don't misunderstand me, because we are two of the most driving forces ever could meet in our life. But what we do, we learn to wake up in the morning and give thanks that we wake up in the morning. And we set off in the day. And when things don't go our way, still give thanks. And when things go our way, still give thanks. Nobody gonna tell us if you just be nonchalant, because you wasn't created to be that way. Have a plan, but okay if you never work out. Because you are not the one who narrating the plan. You determines what you put in, but you never determines the outcome of it. You never control the outcome of no situation. You only determines the energy you keep on putting in it. The outcome is not controlled by us.
The war as we venture on the aspect of authority, the war that many people are fighting and I was fighting is to, like, free will. I have authority over my free will, so why or does my free will stay effective when God still have the dominance? Now, when you expel ego from that, you really you see God for who Him is, and you start to get to know God. You realize that, hold on, but He has a personality. He has a personality, and the personality now comes from the fact that He is a being. Now, this concept is being portrayed in all manner of mankind. If you're watching a football match, somebody wearing the captain band, and somebody is the coach, coaching the team, but there's somebody running the team, and there's somebody managing who's running the team. We don't have any problem submitting to these authority. In any job area, there is a supervisor, the line staff, the CEO, and the persons that own the chain of these companies, which is bigger, and it goes on and on. In the same way, God is His own being. So why should we now feel comfortable giving authority to a man just like us, because we feel like they are more competent in carrying out this task? No, inspect authority itself, command. How much command do we have over our own lives? We realize that we are stumbling through life. Even when we feel like have it all figured out, we are stumbling through what we have figured out. And we realize that there's somebody there, something is there, like of this particular authority that when he says, that must be there, it will be there. It might not make sense to us, but he says it to be there for a reason. Like, Roneal send more flowers, um, a plant in a one jar. Some of the leaves are withered out. I'm gonna go put the plant in the right to the left, so you can see it. And he said, the Lord will tell you what to do with it. And it is not until this moment he just reveal what I'm supposed to do with it. This plant signifies life in itself. Nothing is strange. All things is on a vibration. And as the vibration cools down, we in our understanding we call it aging, the fading away. Some people have not made peace with this. So they try to all different time of manner, which to preserve life itself, that is understandable. But the understanding of this concept is to appreciate that it was. And I was happy. And I was sad. Until we are able to appreciate the strongness of each of these things, because sadness will come again. It will.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't made understand what sadness is, and that you are not sadness, but the one witnessing the character, the avatar that you're given to have dominance over, experiencing the sadness. So you realize that all things, like some of these leaves, them withering away, they're going away. But then you have this fresh one in the middle coming up. Old people fading away, little babies growing, sadness fading away, so happiness can come to a sprout. Happiness fading away, sadness coming to a sprout. And it's all a cycle that if we understand that it is in the phenomenal authority of God, then what problem do we have? you know?
Amazing. Amazing, my friend. Definitely amazing. Well said. Because when he asked me to send the picture to you, I never even, we try to keep a free mind and things. So like when he asked, you just don't try to anymore. Put that in there anymore. You know what I mean? Try to figure it out and understand. And there's many things we can talk about when it comes down to that aspect where we do that and he just like, whoa. Still we all add one name to the listener, whoa. You know what I
Whoa.
mean? So yeah. Jaira, whoa. Because he keep on doing that to us. But it's amazing, man. It's very amazing.
Truly.
And boy, my love knows the end pan. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm happy to be back here again.
Yeah.
Looking forward to many more teachings, Just humbling ourselves in his authority so we can do his will,
True.
not ours.
That is it. Yeah, man, and thank you guys so much. It might seem like a sudden, as we say, I have to understand that all things it trickle down. We start the program and it was bam, 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 and then you have cool down, man. It's okay to cool down and it reach to the cool down part of it now. The fine thread of that vibration coming to a stop. But if this is resonating with you, and talks like this is resonating with you, giving back you the pieces of the puzzle that you're looking for. Just follow us, join us on the journey, because we are also on this journey. We're also on this journey where we are cold, you might be burning in that area. And we would
Yeah.
love for you to share your warmth with us, because where we are burning with this, you might be cold in an area. So it's for us to share the warmth with each other, so we can have more comfort in our livity. Man, so it's powerful choices. I'm here, Dyson, Scott, Roneal, Roxborough. And I'm gonna let Roneal close up the program.
Well, as we begin with Psalms 24, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein.
Mm.
Just always remember, everything belongs to the Lord. The things we like and the things we don't like, you have authority over them. Just always remember who is in authority. And as me and my friend always greet and release each other with shalom, shalom,
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
shalom,
Shalom,
shalom.
shalom.